Okay, so we're doing 8.3b composite shapes, and composite shapes are when we put shapes together to make a new shape. So if we look here, this shape is made up of a rectangle and a triangle. This one has a big rectangle and a circle, and the circle's been taken out, so there's a hole here. This is a rectangle with half a circle, so these are all composite shapes. Okay. So here, if I want to find the area of this shape, first I'd find the area of the half circle, then I'd find the area of the rectangle, and then I'd put them together. Here, first I find the area of the triangle, then the rectangle, and then I put them together, and that's the total area. When I have a shape like this, let's just see. I'm going to make the same shape here. Okay. Really what it's showing, okay, is I have a rectangle and I have a circle, and then I take the circle out. So there's really a hole here. And when you have a hole in something, it means you have to take out that area. So I find the area of the rectangle, I find the area of the circle, and then I subtract. I take out the area of the circle because it's a hole, okay? So let's look at this question here, okay? So what shapes do you see? I see a big rectangle and I see a small rectangle. But if I look at that small rectangle, I'm just going to make the same shape here. Looks like this. I have a big rectangle, I find the area of that, then I take the small rectangle, find the area of that, and I take it out, and then I'm left with this shape. So there's a hole here. Whenever there's a hole, it means I have to subtract. Okay, so let's find the area of the big rectangle. Okay, and if I look at formulas, the area of a rectangle is length times width. So area equals length times width, and here length is always longer, so the length is 28 and the width is 13, and that's equal to 364, and it's meters and it's area, so meters squared. Now I'm going to find the area of the small rectangle. We'll put S for small. So the area is length times width. Length is longer, so the length is 8. And the width is 5. So that's equal to 40, and it's meters squared. Now if I want the total area, it's equal to the big rectangle minus the small rectangle, because it's like this. I have the big rectangle, I'm going to take out the small rectangle, and I have a hole. So taking something out means subtracting. So that's 324 meters squared. So my total area of the yellow part is 324 meters squared. Okay, let's look at the next one here. So here, what shapes do you see? I have a rectangle and then two circles. So here's my rectangle. I'm just going to make the same thing here. I have two circles. And so I'm just going to find the area of the rectangle. Then I'm going to find the area of one circle, take it out. Area of the other circle, take it out. And you can see I have holes in it. So when I take things out, it means subtract. Okay, so let's find the area of the rectangle first. Well, that's length times width. Length is longer, so that's 43. Width is 30. So that's equal to 1,290, and it's meters Because it's area, it's squared. Now we need the area of a circle. What's the formula? Circle, area. Area is pi r squared. Pi r squared. Now what's r? R is the radius. So if you look, the diameter is all the way across, the radius is halfway across. And we have that information. It's 10 here. So my radius equals 10 meters. So my area is equal to pi times 10 squared. Where's my calculator? There it is. So pi, I can go shift there and I get pi times 10 squared. So 314 let's say 15, that's a 9, so let's do 16 meters squared. But that's for one circle. I have two circles, so how can I find the area of two circles? Yeah, just multiply it by 2. So if I want two circles, there's my two circles like here, I'm just going to take this number, 314.16, and times it by 2. So 628.32 meters squared. So now I want my total area. That means I need to find my rectangle and take out the two circles. So when I take things out, that's subtract. So I'm going to do my rectangle, take away my two circles. So my rectangle is 1290 minus 628.32. So 661.68 meters squared. Okay. Let's look at number 4. What two shapes do you see? I see maybe a rectangle or a square and a triangle. Okay, and there's no holes this time, which means I just put them together, so I'm going to add them. So let's find the area of the triangle first. Area of a triangle is half times the base times the height, and the base is the bottom, and the height is how tall it is. Okay, so that's the half times the base times the height. So half times, so here's my triangle. I need the base, that's the bottom. There's no number here. But look, it says this is 15, so this also must be 15. If that's 15, this is 15. So my base is 15. And how tall is it? From here to here is 10, so it's 10. Okay, so if I put that in my calculator, it's 75, and it's feet squared. Because it's area, it's squared. Now I have to find the area of this rectangle or square. And whenever I have a rectangle or square, I can just go length times width. Oh, look, they're the same. If you want, you can do square, because it is a square, because they're both the same, side squared. So you can go 15 squared, or you just can go length times width, which is 15 times 15. It doesn't matter. So because this is a square, I'm just going to go side squared, which equals 15 squared, which equals 225 feet squared. But if you want, you can go length times width and go 15 times 15, and that's equal to 225. So there's two different ways to do this, and both ways are correct. Okay. Now if I want my total area, that's equal to my triangle plus my square. My triangle is 75, and my square, oops, there's too many 2's there, 225, which equals 300, and it's feet squared. Okay, let's go to the next page. this one. Okay, now these ones are a little bit tricky, not in finding the area, but finding the information on the shape. So I don't have all the information about all the other sides, but what you have to do is you have to find it. So because this has one line, it means anything that has one line is 11 millimeters. So this is 11, this is 11, oops, this is 11. This has two lines, so anything with two lines is 15. So this is 15, this is 15. This has 3, so they're both 9. Okay, so there's different ways to do this question. You can see it like how we did the last question. You can see it as, I have a rectangle and I'm going to take out that piece. And some people see it differently. They cut it like here and they go, oh, it's 2 rectangles plus another rectangle. Some people, they might go like this. There's a big long rectangle plus 2 small ones. It doesn't matter how you do it. Okay, I'm just going to do it like how we did the last time. I'm going to do big rectangle, subtract little rectangle. So let's do big. Area equals length times width. So here's my big rectangle. Okay, length is longer, so it's this one. Oh, I don't know how much it is. I know this is 11. Oh, I know this is 11. How much is from here to here? Oh, it's also 11, look, because it has one line. So that's 11, that's 11, that's 11. So in total, 11 plus 11 plus 11 is 33. So this total is 33, and this is 15. Okay, 33 times 15 equals 495, and it's millimeters squared. So now we have to do the small rectangle, length times width. So here's the small rectangle. Let me color it differently. Okay, length is longer, so the length is 11 and the width is 9. Okay, so now I have the area of the big one and the area of the small one, and I just have to subtract it because there's a hole here. So my total area is equal to big minus small. There. Okay. Let's look at this one, the next one. So there's different ways you can do it. You can cut it here and say, oh, rectangle 1 plus rectangle 2. Or you can cut it here and say rectangle 1 plus rectangle 2. Or you can say we have a big rectangle and you take out a small rectangle. Okay. We're going to try it. Let's do it differently this time. Let's just cut it here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you cut it. Okay. So let's find area of rectangle 1. Where the area of a rectangle is length times width. I don't know the length. I don't know the width. Oh, this has one line, and that has one line, so that's 3.5, that's 3.5. Okay. From here to here is 8, so that's 8 from here to here. I don't know this distance here though, because here to here says it's 8, so here to here is 8. From here to here, oh look, this is 3.5, so this is 3.5. So that's 8, that's 3.5. So in total, if I add those, that's 11.5. So the whole length here is 11.5. So the length is 11.5 and the width is 3.5, which equals 40.25, and it's centimeters because it's area, it's squared. Now let's find the area of rectangle 2. Area equals length times width. So we're only finding, we're not going all the way over here, we're just doing it from here. That's a problem, because look, it says this whole thing is 14, but I don't want the whole thing. I only want from here to here. Well, how much is this piece? Oh, look, it's 3.5. This is 3.5, so this is 3.5. The whole thing is 14, and this is 3.5, so I can go 14 minus 3.5, and that is going to be 10.5. So let me get a different colored pen. So from here to here, it's 10.5. Okay, so up there, that's the same. So that's 10.5. Because it says the whole thing was 14, and this is 3.5, so I just subtracted them. Now I have my length and my width. Okay. So now if I want my total area, it's equal to rectangle 1 plus rectangle 2. Rectangle 1 is there. Remember the squared because we're finding area. Okay. Okay, let's do number 9. So what shapes do you see here? Well, I see a rectangle, and then someone took half a circle out of it. So we have a rectangle, and then we have to take half a circle and take it out, which means we have a hole. When we have a hole, it means we have to subtract. So let's first find the area of the rectangle, and then the area of the half circle, and then take it out. Okay. So my rectangle area equals length times width. My length is 11. Oh, I don't know my width. Let me just get something. Okay. So see this, how this is 4? It's like a clock. If this distance is 4, it's also 4 here. It's 4, it's 4, it's 4 everywhere. So if I turn it here, it's also 4 here, from here to here. Well, all the way. And I can also rotate this down. I can go like a clock. It goes down, 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 and that's also 4. Maybe you couldn't see it because my finger's in the way. So that's 4, going down, 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 down. That's also 4. So this distance from here to here is also 4. So in total, the distance here is 8. So we know the width is going to be 8. And it's centimeters squared because it's area. Now I need to find the area of this circle. What's the formula for a circle? Area is pi r squared. Okay, so pi times, what's r? R is the radius. Now remember, diameter is all the way across, radius is half. So we know that the radius is 4. And if I put that in my calculator, that's going to be 50.27. But wait a minute. I don't need the whole circle. I only need half the circles. How can I find half the circle? That's a full circle. I just want half the circle. Yeah, just take this and divide by 2. And that gives me 25.135 centimeters square. So I don't need this anymore. I just need the rectangle, and I need to take out half a circle. So my total area is equal to rectangle, take out half the circle. There. Okay. Let's do this one. It looks kind of, well. Let me get a piece of paper. What shapes do you see here? You always have to ask yourself first, what shapes do you see? Okay, I'll show you what I see. So what I see a big circle and I see a small circle. So it looks like this, a big circle, and then I take out a small circle. So if I have a big circle and I take out a small circle, it looks like that, but not really, because we're only dealing with half a circle. So it's really, I see half a big circle and I take out half a small circle. So I have a hole. So if I have a hole, that means I have to subtract. So first I have to find the area of the big circle. Let's go big. What's the formula for a circle? Area of a circle? Area equals pi r squared. Okay, my big circle, it says all the way across is 1 inch. So let's just draw this here. So all the way across is 1, but we want radius. If you look, all the way across is 1. We only want halfway across. So if this is 1, this has to be half. So this is half. So my radius equals half. Or let's not do fractions, let's do decimals. Decimals are easier. Half is 0.5. So it's pi times half squared, which is equal to 0.79. And it's so inches squared. Okay. But wait a minute, we don't want the full circle. We only want half the circle. Because it's half the circle. That means I have to take half of the big circle. So how do I find half of the big circle? Yeah, just take this and divide by 2. So I don't need this anymore. I just want half of the big circle. Now we have to do the small. Okay, so the area equals pi r squared. Let's draw my small circle here. So all the way across for my small circle is half of an inch. But I don't want the full thing. I only want from here to here because that's my radius. So what's half of this? What's half of? So I have to take half of that. So this is 0.25. Okay, so half of that is 0.25. So my radius is equal to 0.25. So now it's pi times 0.25 squared, which is equal to 0.20 inches squared. But if here's my small circle, okay, that's a very bad circle. Let's pretend we have a nicer circle. I really only want half of that small circle. Look, half. So I don't want the full thing, I want half of it. So how do I find half of the small circle? Yeah, I just divide that by 2. So I don't need this anymore. Okay, so now if I want my total area, I need to take my big half circle and subtract out my small half circle. So how much is that? 0.295 inches squared. There, so I just found the area of the blue part. Okay, let's take a break.